It's the Yep Yeah Yes podcast with Marissa and Tamieka.
Look, I'd rather be a gambler than a weedhead.
I walked in, sat down, had to leave, and violently vomited.
I'm not going down that hole. I'm not. Don't even try me. Not today, Satan. Not today. I value my precious.
Oh,
You're the cream. And the coffee is life.
Life.
You bring cream to my life.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Once a week for an hour.
Hello, Marissa. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
It's a rough day, Holmes. It's a rough day.
Oh, girl.
But I'm trying to make it work. I need a new computer.
I'm okay.
My computer is like it.
Yeah, but you gotta hold off because the new Macs don't come out yet.
Oh, there's new ones coming?
And apparently it's the best edition, best version. It's the best of everything that they've had. So you've got to hold off.
Well, I'm holding on because I ain't got no money.
Yeah.
I just did my taxes this morning. Like I submitted them.
Oh,
I've been working on them for like a week, trying
right.
to see, like, make sure, because last year I ended up having to pay like $1,600, something around there, because I made an error on my taxes. So this time I like took my time. I kept going back to it, making sure everything's good.
Right.
And so I submitted it, and I'm getting money back, but it's such a small amount that it's like,
Oh.
I don't know. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is what it
I
is.
hate taxes.
Well, when's the last time you ever did taxes on like your own taxes? Like yourself, like TurboTax, anything like that? Or you do it like
No, I go to a preparer.
You're prepared.
Prepared.
So I wanna before we get into today's topic, I wanted to introduce the topic in a unique way. We're going to have some intro music, and for those of you that follow us on Zoom, we will have the video to go along with it, as long as my what do you call it, computer cooperates, which it's not cooperating right now, because I'm okay. There we go. As long as my computer cooperates. So, introducing our theme music for this topic today, sung by the beautiful, great, one of a kind original former Countess Luann de Lesseps.
Luann de Lesseps. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Okay, let's try it out.
Which one of these is it?
Ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Here we go.
I'm getting her beat.
Yes, folks, today's girl code. We're talking about girl code. That was a clip from Luann's, like, anybody that watches The Housewives knows, like, there's at least one person on every single show
That tries to sing.
Wants to be a singer. And
a star.
A star. Like, being on the show is not enough. They got to do like
everyone has wine or like a beverage, a spirits,
right?
A clothing line, a singer, and then what are they?
There's always one that is like more wealthy than the others.
Yeah.
And I feel like that person is either super respected or the least respected. It's like no
in between.
Right.
Yep.
So, but the one thing they all do have in common as well is the girl code, which tends to be broken a lot on those shows. They stay breaking the girl code, yo. They stay breaking it. So before we get into, some examples and things like that, what is your idea of girl code? What would you consider the girl code? We always hear about the bro code.
Yeah.
What's the girl code?
Well, there's layers to this shit, as they say. There's layers to it. So one is what we do together, we fucking did together. You better shut your goddamn mouth.
Whoa, there's no need for all that.
But you know what? Sometimes you just gotta tell somebody,
there's no need for
listen,
I can't with you.
better shut your mouth. Uplifting each other, supporting each other. Um, praise me in public, scorn me in private.
Scorn you in private, you said?
Yeah, like if you got something to say, like that's not right, you don't do that in audience. You pull my ass to the side. You wait till we're on our way home privately and be like, homegirl, that just was not, you acted a little out of character on that one. You know, somebody that's gonna constantly tell you, like uplift you, like make you help you be the better version of you. That's what we all need to be surrounded with. People that are just gonna really be there for us, be our champion, be our cheerleader, be our confidant,
So
all
what's
of
the
it.
difference between that and friendship then?
Because here's the thing though, there's got to be like a sisterhood to it, right? So I ain't got to know you to know, like, if your dude is like, did you see her X, Y, and Z? Oh, I'm not sure. I didn't see nothing.
What do you mean? Wait.
Like, yeah, have you ever been out, right? And you see some girl like, you're like, oh, homegirl's talking to three gentlemen or three ladies tonight.
Right.
And then you ever see somebody like, did you see her talking to somebody? You're like,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
oh,
But
I didn't.
but that's
I
the
don't know.
difference between friends and girl code? Or
Girl
you
code.
have to
There's
have,
gotta be.
can you have girl
There's
code
gotta
without being
be.
a friend with someone?
Yeah, I think there needs to be a girl code without being friends with somebody. There has to be some sort of camaraderie. You know, like let's say, listen, we're both in corporate America, and you know, like I got toilet paper on the back of my skirt, pants, shoes, what have you. Help me out. Don't have me going out there looking a fool. Help me out. There's layers to this. It's just about being, you know, like part of the bond, part of the team, the family. Like I ain't gotta know you to know, like, we're online together at a bakery. Clearly you've never been here before. This is usually like, oh, I don't know what to get. I've never been here. Hey, you know what's really good? The Zeppelis. I don't know. A little bit of everything.
Okay. I never really thought like to go that far, but I guess that makes sense. You know, like I
Yeah.
always thought a girl code was just like I'm not worried about that girl over there that I don't know. Like the thing that you're describing, like toilet paper and stuff like that ain't nothing to do with girl code. That's just human common, decency to me. Like that's something that you do because you're supposed because you're a good person, you're a human. It ain't got nothing to do with girl code. If I see toilet paper outside of a dude's pants, like I should tell him too, because it's common decency. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But for me, girl code is to me, it's more like sacred. It's like the shit I tell you. It does unless I tell you that I'm telling someone. Like this is funny because for years in the beginning of our friendship, I would always tell people, like people always used to come to me with like their quote unquote secrets. And before they even started, I'd be like, they'd be like, don't tell anybody. I'd be like, look, I'm gonna tell Marissa.
I remember
And they'd be
that.
like, what?
Fine. Okay,
I'm like,
fine.
don't tell me that. I'm just telling you right now. Like, I gotta be able to tell somebody.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
that's the point
if it's
person.
something
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
if it's something juicy, I need to be able to tell somebody. Like I need to like you tell me something, you Marissa tell me something, right?
Hmm.
And for like if it's something like, look, don't tell nobody, then I'm not gonna say anything. But if it's like something where you probably might not want me to tell anybody, but you didn't tell me explicitly not to tell anybody, I might tell my mother because I need to I need to talk to somebody about it.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But if you were like, look, don't tell nobody. Like this is like back before. But we'll get into it. But back before you were married and stuff, there's conversations you have when in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, whatever. We've known each other in each of those time frames, and so there's conversations that you have in your 20s that you really not having in your 40s. And I don't know if it's because I don't know. We can get into it, but
Hmm.
it's not like I'm gonna be like, yeah, ma, Marissa was on this date. Like if she's telling me about a date, we've
Yeah,
talked it
yeah,
out so much that I don't need to tell other people. You know
yeah.
what I mean? But
Yeah,
if it's like something to the I can't even think of anything like without
like the concrete, yeah, without
right.
like, yeah,
Yeah, but if you say you told me something that was like truly like a secret today, right?
yeah,
Which you haven't told me any secrets, to be honest, in like a decade. Like we don't really, you know, no, I'm serious. You haven't really told me anything. But if you told me something, okay, there's a couple of things you said, but they never came.
no, there's not.
It's like a venting thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But that's the other thing too with the girl code. When it's like when you vent, you got to be on the person that's listening to this has to be on the understanding that this isn't a event. This is an this is a vent, not an event. A vent
yeah,
that is just just a event, and
right.
may not mean anything. You know what I
It's
mean?
not for you to go and go and go and
Right.
go. Yeah,
Right. So when I think about girl code, I say all that to say when I think about girl code, I think like if we've come to the understanding that this stays here between us, between you and me, between a group of our friends, that's where it should stay. And if you need to talk about it, we just talk about it with each other. If you really need to let it out. But
right,
if you
right,
don't explicitly say, don't tell nobody, then I should I I don't know if I feel I don't think I feel bad about talking to someone who is the the other person that I know is not going to say anything in my life. I'm not married, so that would be my mom. You
yeah.
might go to your husband and be like, "Yo, fucking Tamika is an idiot. She just spent $300 gambling." Like you telling your cousins and shit. You might just be talking to your husband. Who know? I don't know. It's not like I
Hmm.
told you don't tell anybody, but it's like, you know what I'm saying?
I
Not a
got you.
secret, but it's not like you don't need to go tell everybody and their mother either.
Yeah,
And that's a bad example, but because I wouldn't tell you if I lost
you,
$200 on like
you
music,
and
I'd
I,
cry to
you and
myself.
I have an acquaintance
Uh-huh.
that has never read Girl Code, probably never heard of the concept, doesn't even understand it. Literally anything that you say, 2 seconds later, and this is literally 2 seconds later, she will pivot her body and tell whoever's around her.
I need to know who this person is. Are we still friends with this person? If you have to think about it, then no. Like,
We're in her trajectory, yeah.
okay, we have to talk offline. We'll do a
You,
clubhouse and discuss it.
you'll know. You'll
I,
know.
I
You
don't know.
know.
I really can't think of who it is. But
She was brought into the cipher.
she, what?
Not somebody that she's married into the cipher.
Okay, I still don't know. I might know, but I never looked at her that way. But you'd have to break it down for me. But I see what you're saying. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like girl code is very it's very important, but I think certain rules need to be established in certain relationships because some people don't see certain codes as
Right.
explicitly important. Like for example, I'm not like okay, Tamika now, I'm like maybe I should have kept that to myself, but I'm gonna tell you what it is. But at the time that I told people, I didn't think it was a big deal. I still don't really think it's a big deal, but it might have been something you might not have wanted everybody to know. But I told everybody at your bridal shower. So it's like, but we never actually discussed this, whether or not you wanted people to know about it when we went to Lake
What?
George with the scissors. I don't know if that's something you might not have wanted everybody to know. But now, as I'm older, I'm like, we probably should have had that conversation. But would that constitute as girl code? If you didn't say to me, don't tell nobody, and we just laughed about it all the time.
Yeah, I
It was
don't
funny
know.
as
I
hell.
don't.
It was funny as hell, yo. I couldn't keep it to myself.
Just for everyone listening, FYI,
Well, you
because
don't have to
it's
talk about it. I'm just saying.
no. The only reason is because like when you said scissors and like me, it sounds very salacious. We never, you know what I
Oh,
mean.
yeah. Okay, okay.
This is what had happened. We went whitewater rafting in Lake George. It's not a lot of whitewater rafting. It's like
The way I fell
there's
in that water, you would have thought I was being taken like Tina Lord Roberts on One Life to
over
Live
the
down
over the Iguazu
or
Falls.
oh my God, it was bad.
But this girl, but hold on a second. We're whitewater rafting. I just want to say this. Tamika doesn't quite know how to swim strong. She can, she can keep
Paddle.
herself up.
I'm probably
You
like
can
a
paddle.
beginner. You know,
beginner.
dunk your head in, come up.
So she's looking over and she sees this, like serene part and decides to jump in the water. Everyone turns and looks at me and goes, "Can she swim?" And I'm like, not that great. They tried to go get her into the pool, but then she back into the raft, but she like moves her body in such a way that she's like
I didn't do it. The water was taking over from me.
I don't know.
I couldn't.
She flopped back in and was like, everybody kind of looked at her and looked at me like, I don't know. But we whitewater raft. We get back. Here's the thing. So you get on this school bus. They cram it full of people. I was wearing these board shorts and I had gained some weight the summer before, that summer, the constant struggle of every human. These fucking board shorts hit the water and decided to shrink 3 more sizes. Because when I was getting there, they were fine. I was able to sit down. I couldn't even sit down on the way back. So we're like crying, laughing, and I don't know what, because she's trying to like help me out of the shorts. And I'm like, "Don't you have scissors in the car?" Because we're both field reps and we needed these supplies. And she's like, "No, I don't have anything with me." And I'm like, we're hysterical laughing. And she's literally holding onto these shorts as they're rolling off my body. So she's like holding onto them and her whole, like her feet are off the floor. And people are driving by looking at us like,
I think I pulled so hard that you ever pull so hard that you hit yourself. Remember that episode of Friends when Ross is like he's got the leather pants on with the powder?
That's exactly.
He's got to pull it up and he hits himself in the head.
Yeah. Well, needless to say, we finally got them off and I don't know where those shorts are now, but yeah. So she decided to tell the story at my bridal shower. Mind you, nobody knew I had gone to Lake George. Mind you, nobody probably knew that I even wore a bathing suit, mind you. But it was just like, "Oh, what's the funniest, the most embarrassing story about Marie?" And she just started talking and I'm like,
man.
And they're like, "When did you go to Lake George?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't remember. Long time ago."
And the thing about it is that at that period of our friendship, you always told me, that's one of the reasons too. The things you told me not to tell people, I never told people. You never wanted anybody to know that you were going on vacation, you're going out of town, that you were doing anything. So if you didn't tell me explicitly, don't tell nobody, then I'm like, okay, free game. So that's what I'm referring to about girl code. If you like, for me and like for everybody, it's a different type of code. But I think at the end of the day, girl code, it can mean many different things, but if you don't set the rules in advance during your friendship, then it can go awry. One thing I want to ask you though, so I'm going to share my screen, and I want to know, is this something? Do you reveal a person's secrets after a friendship is over? Why or why not?
Never.
So we're still friends. We're not, our friendship is
never.
Do you have friends you've never revealed their secrets to anybody?
No. Never.
Have I revealed any secrets?
Well, here's the thing though.
But they never told me not to say nothing though. That's my thing. You don't tell me.
Oh my God. So you need an affidavit, addendum, a memorandum.
Right. But I didn't tell everybody. You're the only person I've ever told though. A friend of mine from college with the mother. You know what I'm talking about. So, but the person never told me, and the person never made a big deal about it. I made a big deal about it because I thought it was like some fucked up shit. You know what I mean? And so I was like, check this out. But the friend was just like blase, like it was nothing.
I know. So here's the thing though. So there are like, okay. So like I said, when I started, there's levels to all of this. There are things that people have told me that I've literally like, Tamieka, listen to this. Oh my God. But you can't say nothing because, whatever. Yeah. You're like, yeah. So yeah. But there are things that people like, you can't tell anyone. And like, oh, okay.
Then you say, Tamieka, check this out. You can't tell anyone.
You for real can't tell nobody.
Yeah, when you say you for real, you can't tell, that means I can't tell my mother.
You like for real.
But if you say you can't tell anybody, then my mom's,
Yeah, she's yeah.
I'm
But
kidding.
I remember I had to think about that because I remember when I got pregnant, I told a few people, and because I found out right away.
With your,
And I was
with
like,
your
just
first two or the third?
yeah, the first two. Well, the third, I was like, whatever. Yeah, I'm having another. But the first two, it was like, just please don't tell anyone, because it wasn't like, I don't know why people tell you wait till 3 months. I'm not sure, but I was just like, oh, just wait a little bit longer, make sure everything sticks and stays. And I remember my mother was like, I really want to tell my mom. Can I tell my mom? And I was
You
like,
said that?
my mother-in-law.
Okay. Okay. When
And
I
I was
heard
like,
mother, I was like, what?
I looked at her like, bitch, it's your mom. It don't count. You got it. Like, I was like, it's your mom, of course. Like,
Yeah,
you
but if
gotta tell.
that's the thing.
That's the thing. Yes, that's why I'm saying, like, that's where, like, that's one of the moments where, like, you forget that there's levels to this. And I was like, no, it's your mom. You have to tell. Like, of course, yeah, no, like. And then it just made me think of, like, I used to love when my mom used to tell me, like, don't tell nobody, okay? I'm like, yes. And she would tell me something about somebody, and I'm like, oh.
See, but your mom told me not to tell you, like, specifically one thing. And I told you right away, because I'm like, I don't know if this is like a trap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, see, that's why I don't like people being like, don't tell me nothing. That's why I always say, I'm going to tell someone.
I'm gonna
tell Marissa. I'm going to let my mother know. I'm going to tell my family. We're going to sit on the porch and make fun of you. Okay. So when your mother told me, I didn't tell her. When your mother told me this thing, I didn't tell her that I was going to tell you.
Yeah.
But I knew I was going to tell you.
Yeah.
And I would rather lose her respect than yours.
Yeah.
Even though losing her respect could in turn mean that I lost yours. You never know how people operate, because that's your mother. You know what I mean? But I was going to keep something like that, especially when explicitly involved you, from you. Because what if you found out later, like, bitch, you didn't tell me?
Because she's the type to do that.
Right.
Like, oh,
So I
Tamieka didn't tell you.
oh, she's trying to set me up. She's trying to set me up. That ain't happening.
Not today.
Not today. So I was like, girl, guess what your mama said?
Oh my God. But I used to
like,
remember that, like, remember I told you a lot of the things she used to tell me. You're like, oh man, remember that story I told you? You're like, no, but what was it? Remember I told you? He's like, and then you're like, oh yeah. I'm like, that's them.
Exactly. So it's,
I'm telling you, as a kid, grown folk secrets is on some soap opera levels. I love it.
I know. So now that brings me to where we started, which was the Real Housewives, but it was of New York. So did you get a chance to watch the last episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay, so they had
a bachelorette party.
Right. They had a bachelorette party. And Candy, she's like she makes a business with sex. The candy coated, whatever, her toys, her talk show. She's got the dungeon thing. What's it called? Something dungeon tour. And one of the people from the dungeon tour is a stripper named Bolo. And so I'm gonna put up this picture of him. For those of you that are not watching on YouTube, what are you doing? You need to watch on YouTube. But we understand. We also want you to download the episode. But I posted some pictures of Bolo. First of all, Marissa, I want to know: is this a type of body that you would be like, oh man, he looks good?
I do appreciate the aesthetic, but as far as like my boyfriend, my husband, my chosen, no.
It's too much.
It's too much. It's way too much.
Too much to try to please. I dated
no, and the fedora, no thank you, and the cowboy hat, no thank you. But it's very aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, it's nice to look at. Like, but
I gotta tell you, that middle photo, I feel like I need like
it's a lot, right? That's why I chose that. I was like, okay.
like, oh my goodness.
Because in the episode, he comes over, and then at one point, like, he does a strip dance and everything like that. At one point, it's over and he leaves or whatever, and the girls want him to stay, and he basically beckons out are the cameras still on? So then Candy was like, all right, let's turn all the cameras off, remove the mic packs,
Mhm.
producers exit. They didn't really do a good job of turning the cameras that much. There were so many cameras, but
Yeah,
it was
but they
explicit.
were also inebriated.
It was right, exactly. But it was agreed that what happens when the cameras are not rolling stays between them.
There
And
you
that to
go.
me is the girl code. If we've said
Right,
this stays
right,
between us, then
right,
that's where it stays.
right.
So my thing is like, um, my thing is like, do Kenya started spouting the whole like this is what happened. Like
From
she
the morning, she woke up and started.
right. Like she was just like out of pocket, out of pocket, out of pocket, out of pocket. And my thing is like, was she wrong?
Yes. Because
Did
here's the
she
thing.
break
Here,
girl code if it's like we would have never known about the slurping noises and all of
she
that.
but and that's the thing. They all just wanted to have fun. And here, like, if you look for something, you're definitely gonna find it, right? So by her saying the things that she's saying, she's making it come off or seem worse than what it really is. We don't know what happened. You know what I mean? We shouldn't know what happened. And even though with the camera angles and people moving, you don't know who's who. You don't know
Right.
what noises. You can edit anything to be your way. But for her to start talking and saying things, you just woke up. Like, you really got it. Like, are you not? Did you not have fun? Did you not allow yourself to have fun? That you got to just like make sure no one has fun.
She's the most miserable person I've ever in all of the shows, in all of the franchises of the housewives. I feel like she's the most miserable.
Yeah.
She's the one person that like I wouldn't even want to like be around her. Like I don't you can't trust her.
No.
She doesn't seem trustworthy at all. And
What
they had a
someone
code. They had a code.
someone on
They
social media said, because they were talking about her not having like childcare, where like she could be away from her child, but I don't think you'd want to be away from, like, her child is still young at that time, right?
yeah, I mean her child is I think like 2, like she can walk and she might be almost 3.
Oh, well, listen, however, you might not want to be away from them for that long, but whatever it is, that somebody was saying, like, she doesn't know how to be part of a village. That's why she doesn't have a village to
Right.
help with her child.
Oh,
And
that's
it was
so
like,
great. That's true. That's true. And the one thing that they made they commented on, I think the episode before is like she's the one that organized the trip. Now you know that some of the other ladies have children that are the same age as your daughter. Why didn't you extend the offer to them too?
that's so
Let them make a decision.
right.
She's just a shady person all the way around.
Yep.
And like you can't you look, we knew that she didn't know what the girl code was years ago when remember with what's her name? Apollo and Phaedra, and he was like carrying her and with the pool thing. Like it was
Oh, that
so
was so
inappropriate.
inappropriate.
Like
That
what is
was
you doing?
both of them, but especially her. Like, you're supposed to be Phaedra's friend. You owe her something. You don't owe him anything. You
Right,
owe her. You don't do that. You don't put yourself in. And I'm not saying it's a male female thing. Like, oh, she shouldn't put herself in that position. Neither should fucking he. But we're
right.
talking about girl code. That's we're talking it in this perspective. So yeah, no,
And on
absolutely
top
not.
of that, it's like I think she was on Watch What Happens Live like earlier this year, like a few months ago, a month ago, or something like that. And she said that, she didn't apologize, but she said now ever since she's been married, she knows that what she did was wrong. I cannot stand people on a side note when they've been fucked up about something and don't give a shit about something until it hits their life, then they're like, oh, like on a side
Okay.
note, this reminds me of Megan McCain. Like until she's like married and had a kid, now she all cares about the rights of children and all this kids in cages and shit. Like, bitch, have
Oh,
several seats.
and maternity leave, family medical leave act. Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up.
I don't like have
Shut
some
up.
sympathy. Anyway, that's a side note. That's a whole nother topic. We don't need to get into that. We stay happy because she will bring a motherfucker down real quick. And so she can go have several seats somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I think, at the end of the day, Kenya doesn't know what girl code is. she's
No.
real quick. Like she can't be trusted. That's the kind of friend you don't want. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the kind of friend
That's the
you don't
thing.
want.
Yeah.
And so is what you call, by the way, Teresa from Jersey Housewives. You know, there's
Judy
one in every group.
Judice?
Yeah,
Judici?
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You
No.
can't. No, there's certain every franchise. I only watch. Well, I watch 4 of them, so that's a lot. Beverly Hills, I watch. I watch Jersey, watch New York, and I watch Atlanta. And each one has the one person. Although with Beverly Hills, yeah, I think Lisa Rinna, like you can't really trust her because she'd be real quick to tell your secret. And I'm like, bitch, you're an act like you would think.
You would think. But I don't know if she's playing a character. Is it the character she's playing? Because you can't. I don't know. I don't know. I
What
just
on
don't
a
know.
side note with her, what do you think about her daughter Amelia dating Scott Disick? 30 years older than her. Is it 30 years older? Yeah, right?
20. 20.
He's 18. I mean, she's 18.
I thought he was like 30, 38.
Oh, 20 years. Okay. I'm aging him.
That wouldn't be for me.
We're not talking
It,
about you.
no. I think
Like if your daughter came home and her new boyfriend, when she's able to date, she's 18, okay? She went off to college, she came back and she's with the professor
and she's
at another college.
dating some dude with 3 kids.
From
Get the
another
fuck out of
college.
here.
He's a professor though. He's a doctor of mathematics.
No.
You'd be like, get that. Oh my God.
They wouldn't even bother. They wouldn't even bother. They'd
You
have the
say
whole
that.
relationship.
We
They'd
don't
have
know.
the whole relationship on secret. And
Yeah,
then one of them would
between
tell
the
on
two-
each other.
See, we need to have another conversation with our siblings. You have your brother on, I have my 2 brothers on. We have a sibling code. You know what I'm saying? Talk about
Oh,
that.
yes.
That would be great.
Let's do that.
Yeah, only
Let's.
person that I think would come on would be my youngest brother. I don't think your brother would come on. I don't think my
He
middle.
might. No, I think he would. No, he would. He really would.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, maybe we should end the year with that. The sibling code.
The sibling code.
I like that. But we have to have you gotta have a conversation with him before, and I gotta have such a conversation with my brothers before. That code
Like,
means don't talk
you,
about shit we ain't agreed to talk about.
when I give you the fucking look, you better shut up.
Right. We probably need to do it in person so we can really edit it.
I'll be like, you better. What's wrong with you?
We'll all go to Lake George. Whitewater rafting. Oh God.
Oh Lord.
My cough, homie, is like ridiculous. I
And I
can't.
forgot to ask you about your cough today.
It's like gotten worse. It's like it sucks, but it is what it is. What am I gonna
What's
do?
going on with your inhalers?
But what?
The inhaler.
I don't want to get up and get it right now, but
Oh.
it doesn't cure it. It just stops it for the moment. You know what I mean?
Oh.
I probably need to go see my doctor again. But during COVID, it's like you only want to go to the doctor if it's like your pap smear
I know. Yeah.
or
Not even.
your annual. No, I gotta go every year. Look,
I never
they ain't
go.
homie. Look, I ain't gonna die for stage 4 cervical cancer because I didn't decide to go and have my annual test. I'm just saying. Let me die slowly. Milk everybody else. Start a GoFundMe. You know all I can for it.
I have a question for you. Do you think girl code extends to whatever it is you're doing? So I have an example.
Okay.
This chick at work was talking about one of the kids, and she was freely talking to another adult. I happened to walk into the room because in that room there were things that part of what I do, they're in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing things, and she says something, and now I know I have trigger topics, and it just happened to be one of them. And I looked, and I kind of like came back, and the adult she was talking to was like, and homegirl kept talking. I'm like, first of all, you're saying business in a room freely. There were no kids around, but she's saying it freely around adults. That should I be privy to that? Like,
So what do you mean though? I don't.
like, does it extend? Like when you're talking about girl code, should this woman have said personal business about somebody? Like, doesn't she owe that woman, the mom? And I say mom because, like, from mom to mom, they happen to all be moms in that room.
Right.
From mom to mom, like, do you think it extends to that? Like, from mom to mom to mom, you're saying somebody's baby's personal business. You don't know, like, why
But
should
how
I
do
know
you know
that?
they didn't have a conversation beforehand that it was okay to kind of discuss it? I
I
think I
don't
lost
think
my
that they
message.
had
Oh,
any
there you go.
conversations prior to that, because meaning I was privy to the information. I didn't know that prior to when she said it.
But I mean, what I'm
You know
saying,
what I mean? I
no,
didn't know anything before she said it.
but did she have it? Did she get permission from the person she said it about? Like, it's not a
Well,
big
see,
deal.
that's
You know what I'm saying? Like if, like I was saying earlier, like if you don't tell me, like I'm not gonna go broadcast your shit to everybody and their mother. But if there's
mhm.
agreement beforehand, don't tell nobody, and she tells somebody, then that's the issue. But if the person doesn't say, don't tell nobody, it's just coffee table talk. You're just like whatever. Then
Yeah. I guess, yeah, no, I didn't look at it that way. I just looked at it more like, I shouldn't know this little baby's business. You shouldn't be talking so freely like that. You shouldn't be spouting things out like that with judgment. And I
see, we,
felt like
we
it was said with judgment.
see that's like if she put her own stank on it, that's a whole nother problem. But
That's a whole nother, yeah.
we know people that have no problem telling everybody their business. Like, why do I need to know that like you wear no drawers to bed? And like there's two, like, you know, you ever see, like we went to somebody's house and they had like they're showing, giving a house tour, and they had like a gallon of what do you call it? I'm not even gonna say it, but it was by the
Lube,
okay? Something you use during sex. By
performance
the and
lubricant.
she's like, this is my bedroom. I'm like, bitch, put the shit away.
Can you put that lube away? That gigantic tub?
And there's certain people that always talk about like sex and shit, and it's like
She's not one of them.
that's what I was talking about too. When we were in our 20s, you and I used to have certain conversations because in your 20s, you just like you're a certain type of person. You know what I mean? So you describe things a little bit more. And then when you get older, as you
Yeah.
start getting in your 30s, you're like, it's not like I don't trust this person to tell them what's what, but it's like there's more to talk about. Let's talk about stocks. That's more
Yeah.
interesting than the size
Yeah,
of
I get
the
that.
I'm fucking. You know what I
I
mean?
don't know.
So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, all I gotta say is that at the end of the table, at the end of the day, rather, I don't know why I said table. I don't
Are
know
you
why I said
hungry?
that's weird. The table came at the end because that doesn't even go to right. At the end of the table, I guess at the end of the table. Anyway, at the end of the day, if you tell me a secret and you say, Tamika, don't tell nobody, then I know I can tell my mother. If you say, Tamika, for real, don't tell
Don't tell
nobody.
nobody for real.
This between me and you.
Don't tell nobody.
Okay.
And it's hold me to the grave. That means we
Oh,
don't even
that
talk about it
yeah,
after
we don't never
to the grave.
discuss again. In that
What? Remember
moment,
what I was telling you? Nope.
yeah, in that
Once,
moment, it's like, let's get it all out now. Let's have a discussion, 5 minutes, back and forth, back. Oh, really? Word, bitch? All right, so you want to go get some Haagen Dazs? Shit is
yep.
buried in the grave, gone. We'll talk about it when we get to heaven.
Yes.
What a day! What a day! What a day that will be. Anyway, that's my favorite. One of my favorite hymns. When we get to heaven. At any rate, um, like I was saying, girl code. I got you, and we're gonna ride this thing out. Even if we stop being friends, which I doubt that'll ever happen. But if for whatever reason we stop being friends, I'm not gonna like try to, take you down.
I would never.
That shit for life, homie, for
Do
life.
you hear this ghetto ass neighborhood I'm in? Do you hear these dogs fighting?
No, I hear nothing.
Oh, I
That's
should
on
have
you.
kept my mouth
Why do you
shut.
have dogs in your yard?
They're not in my yard.
Oh, no, I don't hear it.
Hmm.
But um,
So here, girl
Well,
code. This is for me. Girl code for us. We already discussed our levels. Myself to the sisterhood of the universe. I'm gonna do my best to give you the energy that you give me. Like I'm gonna try like to uplift and to be a support system. I ain't giving y'all the shirt off my back, but I'm gonna let you know when there's some shit on your shoe. Was all I'm
see,
saying.
homie, for real though, my last dollar is your last dollar. So,
No, I'm talking to the sisterhood of the universe,
oh,
not you and me, to everybody else.
well, I don't know about my last dollar no more.
See, to the universe,
Okay, no, I'm
right?
just saying, if I got a dollar, you got a dollar. But at the end of the day, like my dollar ain't gonna feed your tribe. So don't depend on my dollar.
He's silly.
Okay, you gotta find a dollar somewhere else. I'm just saying.
you better hope. You better hope you find some extra.
Better find another extra dollar somewhere because my shit ain't gonna feed your family. My dollar might get actually, if they like bananas, because bananas are like 25 cents each. That's cheap.
Bananas are
That's
delicious.
that's only $4. Then one of them is asked out. Because what am I gonna eat? Anyway. All right, moving on
Moving on.
to yes, it is. It's time for my thoughts. And with that, I am going to talk about something me and you never talk about. Yes, folks, the New York Knicks. As of right now, the Knicks are sitting at the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference of the NBA. I've listened to radio shows, TV shows, and podcasts talk about what changes need to be made to the roster in order for the Knicks to make a push for the successful playoff run. From trading for Bradley Beal, Andre Drummond, CJ McCollum, to even Kyle Lowry, it seems like pundits are picking a new name every day. But my question is, what does the team give up to get one of these players or any other? Many have suggested a package that consists of Obi, RJ, Knox, and some picks. My issue, and for those of you that understand the whole trade management negotiations with basketball, please comment. My issue is, why are we always trying to trade away our new players? Shouldn't we be trying to develop them and make them great? It's only RJ's second year and it's Obi's first. Why are we discussing giving up on them already? I could see trading a package that consisted of Knox, Peyton, Rivers, and Ntilikina because we see what they can do. But why trade players who just got here? I don't get it. Anyway, with that being said, it's nice to see the Knicks fight game after game. It's nice to dream of one day seeing them hit a peak they haven't even reached in years. I watch every game and still have flashbacks from the horrific 17-win season. For me, when they hit 18 wins, it tends to feel great. But at the end of the day, I just want to be at the Garden again, cheering the fellas on to a victory, no matter which players suit up on the court, because I'm a Knicks fan during the good times and the bad. I know I just bored the hell out of you, Marissa. I know I just,
Not at all.
but I had to bring in
I was
some.
riveted.
You were riveted, I'm
I
sure.
was riveted. Riveted.
My Knicks. Quick question: Do you have those masks with you right there? I meant to tell you to have them in front of you. All right, that's okay. Um, just want to remind people we are accepting donations for face masks. Um, the masks are we'll send it with you. We'll send it to you when you send a donation for our podcast. Right now, we've got some donations that have come in. We're almost finished with paying for the podcast fees. We have a little bit more ways to go, and then hopefully we can move on and get some, some microphones and
Ugh.
kind of sound a little bit better because I definitely got FOMO from the other podcasts. They sound amazing. Some of them, the ones that are bringing in money. So if you guys can help us out with a donation, that would be awesome.
Whoever wants to hear my cackle at its finest, help a girl out.
Donate via Cash App, and we also have Venmo at Yep Yeah Yes Podcast. Thank y'all. Marissa, where can they catch us?
Yep Yeah Yes 18 on Instagram and Twitter. The Yep Yeah Yes podcast on Facebook. Any streaming device that streams a podcast, all you have to do is look for the Yep Yeah Yes podcast.
Holler. Thank y'all. Love you.
Love you.
Happy Black History Month. Be nice to a Black person these last few days, all right? Black Lives Matter. Bye, y'all.